I have been every voice.
You are the chosen one!
Anakin! Anakin!
This is where the fun begins.
Inside your head.
Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we're going to be talking about the Book of Boba Fett, and we're also going to be talking about a new release date for Star Wars Droids. As always my dear Mandalorians, before we dive into the news, please may I ask you to hit that big red subscribe button if you've not done so, and also be sure to give that bell a good old tickle to be alerted each and every time that I post new videos. So without much further ado and without any more jibber jabber, let's just dive straight into it. So we're going to start with the Book of Boba Fett, and we actually have quite a bit of news for it. Pictures have leaked from the Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian production crew, and as you can see on the bottom it says the Book of Boba Fett Season 1, which has sparked a lot of debate as to whether this means we're going to be getting more than one season. While it was initially believed that the Book of Boba would be a mini-series, this could be teasing that it's going to get multiple seasons. Let me know your thoughts and tell me what you think this means in the comments down below. So let's move on to our next piece of Boba news. On his recent episode of Conan, Timothy Olyphant was sporting the Cobb Vanth look. It was rumoured for quite a while that he would show up in the series, but now there seems to be some more evidence since he's sporting the look that he had in Mando. Considering filming only recently wrapped up, it appears as though he's maintained that beard and hairstyle. Now you might be thinking it's just how he looks normally, but it really isn't. Timothy Olyphant tends to sport a clean shaven face and his hairstyle is slightly different, so this could indicate that he will be making a cameo in the Book of Boba. But we do have some more news for the series. So it seems as though things are really moving forward for the Book of Boba Fett. We know that filming wrapped up last week and the show is now in post-production, but now it's been confirmed that the show has been trademarked. It's important to note that they did already have a trademark for the intellectual property on the show, but this trademark is for merch. So while it might not seem like anything big, merch for upcoming Star Wars projects tend to be loaded with first looks at new characters as well as leaks. Prior to even getting the trailer for The Mandalorian Season 2 for example, we got a lot of leaks through merch, specifically thanks to adverts for Funko Pops. Pictures of the incinerator troopers, Grogu with the egg canister, the Trandoshan thug, and Mando's new Beskar armor were all revealed prior to those episodes dropping. When it comes to the Book of Boba Fett, we already know that Funko are releasing a whole line of bounty hunters who are going to feature in the show, and there is now confirmation of an upcoming Bossk figure, and although Funko already released one years ago, this one is specific to the Book of Boba Fett. This comes as really exciting news for all of us who've been dying to see his return in live action. It'll definitely be intriguing to keep an eye on all of that. At the start of the year as well as Bossk, it was reported that the show is going to include all of the surviving classic bounty hunters from the guild as first seen in The Empire Strikes Back, and now it seems like this is likely to come to fruition. While plot details are being kept under wraps, we can definitely expect some familiar faces to appear. If you guys remember at the end of last year as well as a couple of weeks ago, we discussed the rumour that Black Chrysanthemum is going to appear in the Book of Boba. Now while Wookiees have appeared on set, it's remarkable to me that no one's even considered the possibility of Chewbacca and or his family who we haven't seen since the first holiday special. Now something worth bringing up is Boba Fett's daughter. I've had a lot of requests from you guys to talk about her in a video, and this is as good a time as any. While I have mentioned her in the past in a speculation video, with the Book of Boba Fett edging closer, it is time to give her character attention. And furthermore, how will she show up if she does? In Legends, Boba Fett had a daughter called Aelin Vel. She was a near-human bounty hunter who was the daughter of Sintas Vel and Boba Fett, and the granddaughter obviously of Jango Fett. When Aelin was just a baby, her father Boba was forced to leave her and her mother. By the time she was 16, her mother disappeared, leaving her all alone. What's really noteworthy is she became a very successful bounty hunter just like her dad. She spent many years trying to hunt him down. Now I will say that her story cannot be completely brought into canon because it involves characters who do not exist in the canon timeline. For example, the original children of Leia and Han Solo. I think it would be really awesome to bring her into live action, bring her into canon in the Book of Boba Fett so that she actually finds her dad. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Should we see Aelin Vel in canon in the Book of Boba Fett, and who do you think should portray her? I have heard a lot of suggestions as to who should play Aelin Vel, but bear in mind that the character was created based on the physical attributes of Anastasia Hionis. So now my friends, we're going to move on and talk about Star Wars Droids. It's finally being added to Disney+. The streaming platform got a whole host of classic Star Wars shows back in April, like the 2D Clone Wars animated Legends series and the eyebrow-raising Ewoks TV movies. One show which subscribers missed out on was the 1980s DVD's Star Wars Droids. Notably, it's not scheduled to release in the US next month, but Lucasfilm did say that it is coming to Disney Plus later this year. While they didn't provide a US release date for Disney Plus, it's likely to be in August according to some rumors. Star Wars Droids was released on DVD by Lucasfilm back in the pre-Disney days of Star Wars, but it's been really hard to get hold of for a while. That's going to change when it finally drops on Disney Plus, both on the 18th of June as well as sometime in August. So now, my friends, we're going to move on to our next topic. Yesterday we spoke about Luke Skywalker's lost years, and now we're going to speak about him some more. So a few months ago I put out a poll on my channel asking you guys what was your favourite of all of Luke's lightsabers. In that poll I put the yellow option, and a lot of people were confused, so I do think it's worth explaining it and its backstory. Coincidentally, one day ago this article was published, and it's called Luke Skywalker's Yellow Lightsaber is a Major Missed Opportunity. So let's talk about it. Luke Skywalker's yellow lightsaber is a major missed opportunity in ongoing Star Wars comics. Although his latest lightsaber in current canon looks really cool, it doesn't make much sense for him to carry it around. When Luke lost his hand in his duel with Darth Vader on Cloud City in episode 5, he also lost his father's original blue lightsaber he used as a Jedi. While fans know that the saber will eventually return in The Force Awakens, Luke is left without a laser sword between the time of The Empire Strikes Back and episode 6 Return of the Jedi. However, the young Jedi in training needs a weapon in his current adventures, especially as the upcoming crossover War of the Bounty Hunters kicks off and the band of rebels search for their carbonite friend Han Solo. The recent addition to Luke Skywalker's collection has been integral throughout the series, and the yellow saber's origins are referenced again in Star Wars number 13, written by Charles Soule. As Luke trains for his future encounter with the Empire, or potentially bounty hunters, it's hard to deny his new yellow lightsaber feels like a misstep. Even in the midst of his training session, he remembers Master Yoda's guidance: "You will know when you are calm at peace." Luke should have learned from Yoda that the Force is an integral part of a Jedi Knight's life on its own. As alluded to during Luke's training from Yoda in The Empire Strikes Back, a Jedi should not rely on his weapons, but should instead hone in on the Force. At this stage in Luke's journey, it's very clear that George Lucas hadn't intended for him to use a lightsaber until he constructs his own green one as seen in episode 6. For the time being, Luke should be leaning into the challenge of not having a typical weapon on his belt. By coming across a new lightsaber so easily, Luke's recent loss to Vader feels cheapened, along with the eventual creation of his own blade. So how did Luke even come across this lightsaber? Well, during the High Republic era, which I know is very unpopular, the Jedi Order established an outpost on Tempes. Although it was eventually abandoned, several Jedi artifacts were left behind, including a single-bladed Jedi Temple Guard lightsaber that was placed on a pedestal. Shortly after the Battle of Hoth in 3 ABY, Luke Skywalker, Jedi Padawan and Commander in the Alliance to Restore the Republic, lost his lightsaber during the duel with Darth Vader on Bespin. Skywalker travelled to the outpost on Tempes to retrieve a new lightsaber after receiving directions from Verla. Luke was immediately ambushed by the spirit of a Grand Inquisitor that had been bound to the ruins for eternity, and although the Inquisitor initially had the upper hand, the aspiring Jedi Luke was able to best him by severing his hand and slicing him through the chest. And that's basically how Luke got the yellow lightsaber, one he has before constructing his own green one in Return of the Jedi. So this kind of fills in the gaps between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and when I stated at this point in the timeline, I'm of course referencing just after what happened on Bespin. It's also the time frame that the War of the Bounty Hunters comics take place, which of course gives a backstory to what happened to Boba Fett on his way to Jabba's palace after Empire. I think it'll be crucial for the Book of Boba Fett, so I do recommend you go out and read that. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of this news update. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell, do all of that good stuff. And also, my friends, if you're feeling generous, please consider becoming a patron. For just $2, $10 or $50 a month, you get exclusive access to content that's not found here on YouTube, and you also get to speak to me once a month if you are in the upper tier. I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you all a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.